Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Welcome. Glad everybody can be with me on this good Monday. Always remember to like, share, and subscribe to this. Again, I am on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and of course YouTube. So please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to this. Doesn't cost you nothing. Glad everybody can be with me on this good Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope everybody is again staying cool, keeping their ass in the gym, doing all the great things, continuing to chase them goals, man. I'm gonna preach that every week. Stay on top of it. So we gonna go ahead and get right into this shit, man. I'm gonna start off with something funny that's I don't really speak on too much as regards to it, but it was funny. It was a viral video that went crazy this weekend of the CEO of this company called Astronomer, I think, and he was caught basically cheating. You know, hugged up with his work wife, or it technically was his work wife because the lady works for HR. And I'm gonna say this, man. The only reason why that shit went viral is because of the reaction. That's the only reason why that shit went viral. Had they played that shit cool, we wouldn't hear nothing about it. I think it was just a moment where people was panicking. I think it was at a Coldplay concert or some shit like that. People was panicking. Then of course the friend didn't help the situation at all. She over there looking all crazy in the face. Like, it was a lot of missteps on everybody's part. And that's why first of all, you shouldn't be cheating if you CEO of a company and you got a wife at home and all that. You got kids. You risking a lot. You risking a lot. But if you're gonna do it, man, you gotta be smarter than that. First off, why are you all hugged up at the Coldplay concert? Shouldn't be just being alert. We all know if you go, maybe they don't know, but I would assume they've been to concerts before. This looked like some people who was in their 50s, 60s. You go to a sporting event, you go to a concert, they got the little camera that be panning, throughout the crowd, and they be zeroed in on couples and stuff like that. I've been to basketball games, they got the camera, they got the little kiss cam thing, it gets on you, or it don't necessarily got to be a kiss cam. They just showing shots of people in the crowd doing crazy shit, or just, doing regular, whatever it is that you doing. They just showing the scene, what people got going on. So all they had to do is just pretty much play it cool. That's it. If the moment that he tries to duck off and she go hide and then the friend is like got her hand over the face, that's when it becomes viral. If everybody just plays it cool, we don't even hear about that. We don't know the CEO of Astronomer. Like, okay, granted, if the camera gets on them, people within their local area might know who they are, but I don't. This doesn't become a viral moment. Had everybody, you was just supposed to just stay there, staying cool, bro. Just like this. Her too, the friend, act like you don't even know him. Like, if you in that situation, you gotta act like you don't even know that person. You just keep on doing what you doing. But the shock factor on everybody's face and everybody just get in a panic mode, it was kind of like, damn, now everybody knows who this is. It's always the reaction. Now, granted, some people might say, somebody in the crowd could have still took a video and sent it out. Yeah, but I still think it stays within a certain range of people. Like, the people who know you, they know you. This is not like LeBron James or, Steph Curry or Patrick Mahomes or nothing like that. Like, this is, again, I never knew who the CEO of Astronomer was. I ain't even heard of that company. But it was just a misstep on everybody's part. I thought this shit was so funny because it's like, yeah, you're not supposed to be doing this. And what made it funnier is because this motherfucker resigned. Let me read. Let me read this statement. This shit is crazy. As stated previously, Astronomer is committed to the values and culture that have guided us since our founding. Our leaders are expected to set standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently that standard was not met. Andy Byron has tendered his resignation, and the board of directors has accepted. The board will begin a search for our next chief executive as co-founder and chief product officer Pete DeJoy continues to serve as interim CEO. Before this week, we were known as a pioneer in data ops space, helping data teams power everything from modern analytics to production AI. While awareness of our company may have changed overnight, our product and our work for our customers have not. We're continuing to do what we do best, helping our customers with their toughest data and AI problems. That's the statement from the company Astronomer. I'm going to say this, bro. We all know You shouldn't be fraternizing with coworkers. Now, apparently, this lady she just became HR like in November of last year. So this some new shit. Buddy hopped on that immediately, like didn't waste no time. If you are going to mess with somebody at your job, the last place you should be is at a big, big public event like that, hugged up. That's insane. That's insane work, bro. That's insane. See, now before I found out that she worked with the job, I was like, all right, bro, like why is this dude resigning? Like it's not that serious. Come to find out she she works in HR and all this other shit. Like just bad maneuvering on all parties. Again, I'm not saying, you should be out here cheating, period. But we all know, we all humans at the end of the day, cheating goes on every single day. I'm about to sit up here and play dumb and cap for the, let's stop it. It happens. But we all know if you're going to do it, you're going to do it in a way that's, not gonna get you caught. And I just think, first of all, you fucking with the HR lady is crazy when you're the CEO. You can't. I think your antenna should go up the higher you move up in the company. Like we all know, co-workers, like who work on the floor or whatever, just the regular employees, they fucking around with each other. Management, they might be fucking around with each other. As you continue to get higher, you got to be mindful of that. You can't lose your job and potentially lose your family behind shit like that. Just it didn't make sense at all, man. But honestly, when it comes to this whole resignation thing, I look at it like, how can you mess it up that badly to where you have to resign from your job? Oh, because you want to mess with the HR lady. You the CEO. You can't go get somebody that you met at the bar, somebody you met in TJ Maxx, Ross, Gucci store, Louis, whatever. You a CEO, so I'm pretty sure you shop in the best of places. You messing with somebody that's in your own company, you asking for trouble. You asking for trouble, though. I think that was a big component in this that a lot of people really didn't highlight in terms of this resignation. Like, okay, it's understandable. You're not supposed to fraternize with coworkers. Now, there are some jobs where they don't mind people dating each other. They just have to let it be known because conflict of interest. Y'all can't be working in the same area. Stuff like that, understandable. But if your job has a strict policy about not messing with the bro, I can't be a CEO and mess up my high hundreds of thousands, potentially, most likely millions, because I'm fucking with the HR lady. No, ain't no pussy that good. I'm sorry. It can't happen. It simply can't happen. You got to move smarter than that, buddy. And now you got to resign and do all that other shit. Possibly got to face a divorce and it was just all messy, but the memes was going crazy this week. I will say that. The memes was on one. Niggas didn't waste no time. They put in Patrick Mahomes, the dude is Patrick Mahomes and the girl as the referee and all type of crazy. The internet, you already know how the internet give it up. Internet was just going wild and crazy with that, but I can't really say that much, but hey, you got to make better decisions, buddy. I don't know. Like it's a better way. It's a better way to move around. Like I can't. Let's say hypothetically speaking, y'all all at the concert. Don't be hugged up with each other. Stupid. You know the cameras is around. You know they're gonna do the little kiss cam thing and all that other shit. But in that moment, freeze frame. Because we all know when they do it, they only stay on y'all for about 2-3 seconds. You gotta think 2-3 seconds is a long time. They go ahead, they go on to the next section or next group. That it happens at every event, concert, sporting event, whatever the case may be. So the camera would have just stayed on y'all for 2-3 seconds, but the reaction, hey, y'all ducking off and shit. That's what made the shit. That's what made the shit worse. That's what made it go viral. So they really ain't got nobody to blame but themselves. But come on, dog, you fucking. Niggas always fucking up their shit because of some pussy, man. I don't understand it, bro. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Now you got to go home. Wifey gonna be in your face. The kids and pretty. It's messy all around. Then it's the HR lady. So the HR lady probably done seen the wife before, seen the kids. Don't give a damn. But us as humans, we selfish, man. And sometimes that that lust. That lust to have you jammed up, man. So that's pretty much all I got on that. I want to start that because that shit was so funny. And hey, man, you just got to move smarter, man. Just got to move smarter. So next up, I didn't really want to talk about this, but I seen it come up and I do have an opinion on it. So this nigga Troy Ave got into a shooting incident. You go look it up. It's all over Twitter. It's all over on Instagram. So apparently him and his boy pull up to the crib. This is in San Diego, California. They pull up to the crib. His friend hop out first. Troy Ave hops out. You see a nigga in the background creeping, ducking, and he basically comes up on his friend, look like he trying to rob him or whatever. Troy Ave, he pull out his gun, start dumping on the dude. Dude put up a caption on, he put up a freeze frame of the incident, or he put up the video of the incident on his Instagram, Troy Ave's friend. It says, you know, I wouldn't be here. Troy Ave saved my life, this, that, and the third. So here, this is where it gets kind of tricky to me. So I think a day passes, 2 days passes, and then TMZ drops a report that, you know, the Troy Ave shooting was staged for some social media clout. Okay. So everybody's pretty much reception is like, Troy Ave doing goofy shit again, this, that, and the third. I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that shit was staged. I honestly don't think this is something that's staged, and now the San Diego police are about to investigate this to see if it really was real, because apparently there was no 911 calls made initially at the time, which also plays a factor in my time. It plays a factor into my mind too, because I'm thinking Troy Ave is a convicted felon. They have to say this is staged. Like, am I not making sense? Like, they have to say that shit is, this nigga's a convicted felon. He should not be having no gun. He just got out of prison for the 2016 Irva Plaza shooting that, you know, unfortunately somebody lost their life and another girl got shot. So he shouldn't be having no guns at all. So I really think Troy Ave might be in some serious shit with this. Like, I don't think that shit was staged. I don't. Like, I know it's popular to, you know, kind of clown Troy Ave and all that, but I don't think that shit was staged, bro. And I don't think he would do that shit for no social media clout. I don't see that happening. I know a lot of people, when they initially heard it, they looking at it, oh, nobody would get that close up on somebody and all this other shit. No, bro, motherfuckers be lurking. Like, they follow you home. They just know your steps and everything like that. So I think Troy Ave might be in some serious trouble, bro, if they get to investigating the shit and find out this shit not real. Because this nigga, again, he just got home probably less than a year ago. I don't think Troy been home a year. I could be wrong. But I don't think Troy Ave has been home longer than a year, bro. So when I'm looking at this video and I'm seeing a dude creep out the back and he run up on his homeboy, Troy Ave immediately pull out the gun, start dumping on dude. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know the state of the guy gang because there was no police report made, none of that. But they are investigating this. Now, again, I could be wrong. This is just my personal opinion, but I don't think that shooting was staged at all. I don't. I think Troy Ave and his first of all, his homeboy is crazy for even posting that on social media. That's stupid. Saved your life or not. Why would you post that video of that anyway and then say, you know, oh, he saved my life, knowing his criminal history? You get what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even have, nobody should even have known about this shit. It should have stayed on the ring app camera like it should have. It should have never hit the net. Now you present yourself new problems. So I think when all that happened, he's like, hey, bro, like, we got to say this shit was staged. I don't see it, buddy. I don't. I'm sorry. I do not see that shit. So I'll be interested to see what more comes from that, because that was kind of telling, bro. I'm looking at that shit. I'm like, if I'm Troy Ave in that situation, I gotta say that shit staged, my nigga. Like, I'm a convicted felon. I can't be having no guns. I can't be shooting nobody and shit like that. So we'll see what comes from that. So getting into some new music. Had some new music dropped this week. We had a couple of singles drop. Joey Badass dropped a new single called, I think that was called ABK, I think. Let me see. Yeah, Joey Badass, he got an album coming out too. So, yeah, Joey Badass he had a single that he premiered on, was that Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, it was called ABK. And nigga been killing, man. Like I said, this nigga been doing great this year. Salute to him, you know, as far as having a dope year. And, you know, of course, me giving credit to what he did to the West Coast as far as that battle they had going on. Yeah, it's called ABK. My bad, y'all. I couldn't pull it up on my laptop for whatever reason. But it's a dope single. I like it. Anticipation for his new album. I think his new album comes out August 1st. I don't know if he has a title for the album yet. But yeah, he definitely has an album that's coming out either August 1st or somewhere in between that time. I think I did see a date for specifically August 1st. So salute to Joey Badass. I definitely like that record. If you have an opportunity, please go check out that performance on on Late Night Show. Go check that out. Definitely did his thing. Freddie Gibbs got a new album that's called coming out, Alfredo 2. He dropped a new track called 1995 with The Alchemist. When him and The Alchemist come together, they just do dope shit, bro. Like salute the Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist, man. This nigga has been killing probably for about 2-3 years in a row now. I loved his last album, You Only Die Once. Great album. Great album. I think that might be his best work. I know a lot of people like Bandana, they like the first Alfredo, but that last one, You Only Die Once, fire. So yeah, Freddie Gibbs dropped a track called 1995. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. One thing about Freddie Gibbs, outside all his, and he's another one of those rappers who kind of totes the line between his antics, but he's a dope rapper. Kind of like On the Game type shit. Like, nigga be doing corny shit, but when this nigga rap, he be rapping. I kind of want Freddie Gibbs to I don't want him to get that persona for himself, because he's a very, very dope rapper. And every time Freddie Gibbs drops some music, it's some dope music. He got classic work. So I want to definitely give credit to Freddie Gibbs on that. Again, that track is called 1995. It's off the upcoming album called Alfredo 2, him and The Alchemist. Salute The Alchemist. He's been having a great 2-3 years as well. But Freddie Gibbs just always delivers, man. Anytime Freddie drop, I'm ready to hear it. He does have a track list that's out. Let me go ahead and go. It's 14 tracks. 1995, Mar-a-Lago, Lemon Pepper Steppers, Ensalada with Anderson .Paak, Empanadas, Skinny Suge 2, Feeling with Larry June, I Still Love Her, Shangri-La, Gas Station Sushi, Lavish Habits, Gold Feet with Jid, John Claude, and 1,000 Mountains. You know me, I always say I like 12 to 15 track albums. This is 14, so I'm anticipating a great album. I'm not anticipating a good album. I'm not anticipating a classic. I'm anticipating a great album because he consistently puts out great work. So I'm definitely looking forward to Freddie Gibbs' album with Alchemist, because them niggas always show up together. They always show up together. Always. So next up, Raekwon. Niggas been killing this week. July has been a good month for rap music, man. July has really been a great month for rap music. In July, I always kind of look for music to kind of carry me over because of course sports is dead. July is also one of the worst months at the year. I don't know about y'all, but I really don't like July. July by far is the worst month. You know, it's the most rain month, most storms, hot as hell. You know, 1 minute it's raining, 2 minutes later the sun is out, 5 minutes later it's back raining again. It's just a terrible month. You just gotta kind of try to coast through it. But Raekwon dropped an album called The Emperor's New Clothes. Dope album. Dope album. I give it a solid 8. Very, very, very good album. Off the gates, you got a track called Berry Hill, fire. You got Pomegranate with Inspector Deck, Carlton Fisk. You got the Wild, I don't even want to try to fuck that word. I think it's called Wild Corshians with Conway, Benny the Butcher, Westside Gun. You got One Life with Stacey Barf. You got Open Doors with Tommy Nova. 600 School with Ghostface and Method Man. The Guy That Plans It, The Heavies, Omerta with Nas. We'll get into that also in a minute. Get Out of Here with Ghostface again. Deborah Knight Wine with Marsha Ambrosius, and finish it up with Mac and Lobster with Ghostface. They got a couple of skits on here. He got 4 skits on here. It's 17 tracks, but he got 4 skits on there, so it's really about 13 tracks. Again, just very good work, man. I spoke on this last week. It's real good to see a lot of the older rappers still being fresh, still being sharp, still being in shape as far as rapping. Raekwon and everybody involved did a great job on this album. They did a great job on this album. Again, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. You know, my favorite tracks probably off here is Berry Hill so far, Omerta, 600 School. Everybody showed up. Everybody sounded good. Ghostface, Method Man. I think Ghostface got an album that's coming out again. So, again, it's just dope to see a lot of the older acts still getting out here, still putting out music, still sounding sharp, not sounding forced also. That's another thing. A lot of the rappers, they're still sticking to what was their element when they came out. You know, Raekwon, Nas, you know, last week when I talked about the Clips, everybody's still sticking to their formula. They're not trying to latch on to something that they know is trendy or, trying to fit in. No, because they still realize that they still have a large fan base that still loves them for them and what they brung into the game when they first came in. You got to think Raekwon and them came out in 94, 93. So for them to be 30 plus years later still sounding like this, still sounding sharp, I could tell they take the craft seriously too. There's a lot of times, and it pained me, but about a month ago I had to get on Lil Wayne about the Carter 6 because I felt like Wayne is better than that. You get what I'm saying? With these guys, I could tell that they really sat down with it. They really went through the beats. They really went through, I could tell they had exercises. I could tell that they really reviewed every track. They didn't want to come out here half stepping. And that's not even just saying that for the older acts. This goes for the young acts as well. Everybody should take the time to sit back, really analyze their album, really do their due diligence, to make sure that they're putting out some dope work. So salute to Raekwon and everybody involved in this. All the features were dope. Nothing was forced. Everything was cohesive. Everything flowed perfectly. It was just a very, very good album. I really liked it. And, again, some of my standout tracks I liked. Again, it was Berry Hill. I like 600 School and Omerta. I like Get Out of Here, too, with Ghostface. That was another dope track. But speaking of Omerta, so Nas had a feature on this track called Omerta. Absolutely killed it. Nas has been actually doing a great job of features this year so far. He did his thing last on Chandeliers and Let God Sort Him Out on the Clips album. He did his thing on Omerta with this one. There's another one that a lot of people are raving about, but I can't think of the track right now. But salute to Nas for doing a great job on his feature run. But there was an unreleased version of his verse on Omerta, and he was absolutely killing Jim Jones. He was getting Jim Jones out of here. And I spoke on this before. This is probably about episode maybe 5 or 6. Jim Jones had some comments as regards to Nas saying how he got more impact than him. He didn't move the culture like him. And I was like, hey, Jim, no, like, leave that alone. It's different levels. Like, Nas up here, you down here. You go see it. You can see when I was talking about it. And of course, Nas initially, he had a little Instagram. He had an Instagram post and he had a little witty caption, kind of like addressing what Jim was saying. So Saturday night, when I was still listening to this album, I'm scrolling Twitter and I see this track. And everybody like, oh, this unreleased version. Apparently it was on Instagram too, but I saw it on Twitter. And Nas was absolutely getting on Jim, like calling him dusty, like, basically saying like, you're not on my level, all type. If you have an opportunity, please go check out that verse. I don't want to play it on here. I don't want to risk, getting any copyrights. But please, if you get an opportunity, please check that out. But yeah, man, Nas was putting niggas in his place. Nas basically was putting niggas in his place, man, on that track. Like, again, Jim Jones, I kind of feel like Jim Jones has kind of been, I'm not even going to say something himself up. I truly believe Jim believes all the stuff that he's saying. Like, and again, he should feel that way. But on the flip side, you got others who be like, nah, bro, like, we not doing that. Of course, Pusha T, he was getting at him. Now Nas is getting at him. I do expect to hear a response from Jim, though. That's the thing. I do expect to hear a response from Jim. Do I think it's going to trump what Nas do? Nah, I don't. I don't. But, Jim, he got that Harlem persona. That nigga's not going back down. Like, I expect to hear something from Jim this week. And if not, then that's how it should be. Just leave it that way. But salute to Nas, man, because he definitely got in the booth and he was talking to niggas, man. He was talking. And I thought it was dope. It was dope to see. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing too crazy. It was nothing personal or nothing like that. It's not nothing that's gonna, get outside the booth. I don't think. It was just like establishing order. Like, hey, bro, like, I'm up here, you down here. Stay in your place type shit, just as far as, this rapping shit. So, and I spoke about this last week as well, too, in terms when Ja Rule was talking about beefing and dissing. This is the healthy part of it. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the healthy part of, hip hop, the battling aspect. Like, niggas saying, like, no, bro, like, you not fucking with me. This is what it is. Like, I'm up here, you down here. We not doing that. So, again, if you have an opportunity to check that out, please check that out. Please check that out because Nas was getting busy, bro. That's all I can really say. Nas was getting busy on Jim, man. It was again restoring that feeling, man. Like we got to keep that in the in the sport of hip hop, man. Niggas going at each other. You know, niggas say something slick in an interview or whatever, and they be like, all right, bet. Go ahead, handle that shit in the booth. And that's what Nas did, man. So salute to Nas, salute to Raekwon. If Jim is gonna respond, we gotta wait and see. We gotta wait and see. I don't know. I don't know if Jim wanna hop in them waters. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if Jim wanna hop in them waters, man. That's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day for Jim. But I just don't. His personality and his pride is not gonna allow him to just let a nigga rap about him. Like when Pusha T got at him, he got right in the booth immediately. Was, hey, this is what it is. Nas, I don't know. He might carry it different. We just have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. But again, salute to Raekwon, Nas, everybody who had a hand on his album. And again, salute to Nas for a dope diss record, man. Dope diss record. That track again is Omerta. If you have a chance, please go check that out. And check that out on Raekwon's album. Next up, pains me I gotta talk about this, but Nicki got into it with SZA. I just talked about Nicki last week with Jay-Z, man. Like, come on, man. So Nicki apparently been going back and forth with SZA for about 2-3 days now, the whole TDE camp. So I'm gonna tell you how all this started because this is hilarious. So apparently TDE Punch was premiering a track from an artist under the label. I don't know the artist name, but I think it was called No Barbies or No Black Barbies or something like that. So apparently Nicki must have thought it was a diss, or he was talking slick about her. The Barbs, they got traction of it, and she follows a lot of the Barbs on her Twitter. She caught wind of it, got the dissing. So SZA was tweeting on her account, basically saying stuff about not taking the bait and all that other shit. Nicki was like, hold up. And in true Nicki fashion, started going off about the numbers, how SZA's this, SZA's that. She had a little back and forth about you hit me up about a single and all this other stuff. Punchy gets involved. Then Academics gets involved, and then they have their whole back and forth, and just started getting, she going on her rant again about Rock Nation. And all I got to say is this. This is the shit, again, that I don't like, especially now it's between two women in our culture. Like, I don't want to see Nicki versus SZA. I don't. Like, again, this goes back to my main point about how when I felt like the media had a big hand in Cardi and Nicki having a beef. I don't like the way Nicki, and I said this last week, I don't like the way Nicki handles her gripes. I know. Especially on social media. I kind of feel like it takes away from her overall accomplishments. It takes away from her, her persona as far as just being a rap icon. That's what she is, hands down. In my opinion, she's the best female rapper of all time. Like, she got it. It's stamped. But a lot of the times the antics can overshadow Nicki, accomplishments in rap by the way she handles stuff on social media. Like, just spiraling, going out of control. And I've accepted, I probably accepted since about 2016, 17, that this is just who Nicki is. Again, I said this last week. Like, if you talking slick about her, you talk crazy about her, she's gonna get on your ass. There was another guy, I can't remember his name. I think he's affiliated with TDE. He was talking about Nicki, and then, she started atting the CIA and the FBI to, like, get him out the paint. Because he said something about how, Nicki, you better chill for your boy get put in the blender. She took that as if, like, a real threat. When essentially he talking about Drake getting put in the blender from the rap battle that happened last year. So it's to me, it's just all unnecessary, and it don't serve no purpose for real. It don't. And I look at Nicki in a higher light, just as far as her rap ability, her artistry, all that. As Nicki continues to get older, she should be, basically riding off in the sunset. It shouldn't be this type of stuff, this unnecessary back and forth with SZA or then another streamer, with Punch and everybody. It doesn't make sense. Granted, I'm not saying she shouldn't feel how she should feel, but it's also a way to go about it. I don't have no issues with Nicki. Again, I have her as the best female rapper of all time, but a spade is a spade. I want her to handle situations better than what she does, especially when she has the fan base that she has. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, we all know the bars like to get extra. They like to run out. I'm not saying Nicki shouldn't defend herself. I'm not saying that she shouldn't feel attacked that people are coming out here, but it's all about how you handle it, how you go about it. It's just unnecessary at the end of the day. It is because Nicki and SZA, come on, man. Like I said last week, it was Nicki versus Jay-Z. I don't want to see Nicki and SZA going at it. Like, if anything, y'all get on the track together or something. Give us a song. Give us a song. I don't want to see Nicki and SZA going back and forth on some dumb shit. It just don't make sense. It doesn't. Who does it serve? It doesn't serve anybody. People are going to talk about it. It's going to get fueled. It's going to get, recycled. We will continue to deep dive in it. And again, I'm not saying that Nicki shouldn't defend herself. I'm not saying Nicki shouldn't, because she has taken a lot of hits in the industry. She has. A lot of people have kind of came at her sideways. But some of the times, being fair, it is self-inflicted as well. It is. I'm just being honest. A lot of times it is self-inflicted. And the bars, they do play a big factor in it. They do. The barbs, a lot of the times, they like to fuel a lot of things. They be talking people crazy. They be trying to, dox people address and all type of crazy shit. Like, we really don't have a lot of room for all that type of stuff, man. So hopefully that doesn't drag out, and that's not really something that's, long, and, it also gets outside, like, it becomes, like, real personal, which I don't think it'll get personal. But I just don't want to see nothing like that. So hopefully that's dead this week. But I did see that, and that was a big thing. But Nicki, continue to be the dope rapper that you are. SZA, you continue to be the dope R&B artist y'all are. Y'all hash your shit out, kiss, make up, hug it out, do whatever y'all got to do. If y'all want to do a dope track together, give us that. But all this extra, leave that alone. So getting into some sports shit, we had some big news happen this week. Definitely had some big news that happened this week. Dame signed back with Portland. A few weeks ago, I spoke about Dame getting cut from the Bucks, waived by the Bucks, and I said how that was the right move for the Bucks to basically cut Dame, being that they're in a position now where they're trying to convince Giannis to stay beyond 2027. He'll be a free agent 2027. I thought that Dame should have went to Boston. Come to find out, this nigga goes back to Portland on a 3-year deal for $45 million. With also, the Bucks diverting the money that he already had from his previous deal. He's going to get that payout until 2029, I believe. Let me see, because I do have that screenshot. Where is that? This nigga Dame is racking up for some years to come, man. I ain't mad at it. I just thought he would have, went out at least with a chip on it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, so Dame will be getting paid from the Bucks up until 2029 when he's 39 years old at $22 million a year. Again, he just signed a 3-year, $45 million deal with the Blazers that will pay him about $14 to $15 million a year. Well-deserved contract. Best Blazer of all time. I don't see what it does for him as far as contending for a championship, but I think Dame was just looking at it like, hey, bro, like, I tried it. I went to Milwaukee. It didn't work out. Why not just go ride out with the team that drafted me? I'm already loved in this city. I'm all-time leading scorer for this team. Just ride out in the sunset. I get it. But I definitely thought Dame would at least try to still chase that championship. Go to Boston, get it. But, hey, listen, by the end of Dame's contract, he would have earned $490 million in his career. I ain't mad at it. Up until this point now, he's already earned $330 million. I understand it, but I still thought he would at least try that one last, hoorah to try to go get a chip. Going back to Portland, again, I understand it. It was a team that drafted him. As far as contending, I don't see what happens with that. Definitely don't see that happening, but maybe that's not on his radar, and it's understandable. A lot of the times, these guys, they put their bodies on the line. They go through traumatic, and I don't know how the Achilles injury is playing on Dame's mind. I really don't. That can be mentally taxing too. So ultimately, I want to salute him because if this is his last ride, he's had a hell of a career. One of the best shooters we've seen, one of the best scorers we've seen. So he's well deserving of this money and his contract. But I definitely thought he definitely was going to go try for a championship. But salute to Dame, man. Salute to Dame. Next up, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal signed with the Clippers. Now, I did see some rumors early this week of this, possibly happening and all of this going on. I didn't really think it was going to amount to him signing with the Clippers, but hey, we here. What do I think about it? I think the Clippers are really just going to continue to really throw every punch they can up until 2027. I think that's when Kawhi's deal is up and James Harden deal is up because, yeah, James just re-signed for a 2-year deal up until 2027. So this is it for the Clippers. This is the last hoorah. Bradley Beal, he signed a 2-year deal as well. I think it was like 2 years for $14 million or something like that. So they got him on a vet minimum. Bradley Beal, he has a lot to prove. Bradley Beal has had a bad couple of 2 years in Phoenix, and coming off his run in Washington when he was putting up 30 a game, I think he had 1 year he was all NBA. I think he definitely wants to redeem himself. But I'm gonna be real. I don't see how this really moves a needle. I'm not saying, of course, I wouldn't say Bradley Beal's not. Of course, he's better than Norman Powell, but every time the Clippers come into the season, they always look good on paper. It never transpires to them actually being contending for a championship, even though they do have the pieces to contend. Playoffs come, Kawhi's hurt, James Harden, he has a disaster class in a game 6 or game 7. I don't feel at them adding Bradley Beal is going to move that needle for them to at least get to a conference final. They still haven't been to a conference final as a team. I just don't see it. I don't see it working out. Yeah, it looks good. They got John Collins, they got Zubac, but again, when you get to the playoffs and crunch time, how are you going to live? How are you going to deliver as a team? We all know James Harden when it gets past game 5, game 6, it's funny in the light. Kawhi Leonard really didn't show up in last year's playoff series neither. Now, like I know a lot of the attention was on James Harden, but Kawhi Leonard didn't really show up neither. He really didn't. He had like one great game throughout that Denver series, and I think that was game 2 when he dropped 39. But outside of that, he was pretty much mediocre. Adding Bradley Beal to this mix, I don't really see how that's beneficial for that squad neither. I don't. I'm interested to see how this goes, but I don't know, man. I don't think it does anything for them. I don't. Shout out my nigga Stan, because I know my nigga Stan, he's a Clippers fan. I think he is excited about this, but just being honest, giving my objective opinion on it, I don't see Bradley Beal moving the needle for the Clippers. I don't. Again, I just think this is their last hurrah to try to, get a championship before 2027 comes, because after 2027, that's it. I think Kawhi Leonard, he's riding out. I don't know if he'll go to another team or retire, but I don't see Kawhi Leonard playing past 2027, to be honest. So, hey, I get it. But again, it's just the Clippers, how they look on paper. On paper, they look good. But when you get into them series in the playoffs, it never pans out. It never pans out. But salute to Bradley Beal, because I know he was trying to get a buyout, and I know they was going back and forth with the Suns about that. So, we'll see. We'll just have to see how that plays out. So next up, I want to definitely talk about this because I found this very, very interesting. And I want to say I'm not surprised that this is happening. So Donald Trump will reportedly sign an executive order to limit NIL money for players. And I came across this you can find this article on sbnation.com. The name, image, and likeness NIL revolution has reshaped collegiate athletics. Players have more agency than even their own market value. Make some of money they generate for sports programs and ensure their future, even in the event of catastrophic injury or a failure to be selected in a pro league draft. That could potentially change in the near future, courtesy of an executive order filed by President Trump. Front Office Sports reported on Wednesday that Trump is actively working on an NIL order, which is expected to either establish NCAA-friendly rules to limit the earning potential of players or at least establish a commission to investigate athlete compensation. The end goal in either case will be to support power conference schools in their lobbying goals to limit high-profile players from joining smaller programs due to money. In addition, legislation will likely put a earning cap on how much players can make through NIL, as well as codify athletes as non-employees, something player groups have been pushing for in several states. This comes following the ruling of House versus NCAA, a 2020 case settled last year for $2.75 billion, which sought to lift restrictions on revenue sharing from broadcast rights. Congress has been working on its own bill to curb NIL spending, with negotiations ongoing about a proposed cap on NIL payments from schools. It is unclear what this amount would be, but it's accepted it would be substantially less than what programs are currently spending. This also comes in the wake of notable collegiate sports figures like Nick Saban decrying the explosion of NIL-based payments. And speaking to the president about his concerns, it should be noted that while Alabama Saban remains a powerhouse of college football, the NIL kitty is substantially lower than a wide array of schools, ranking 12th in future NIL investment behind the likes of Auburn, LSU, Texas, Georgia, and amongst others. It is unclear at this time what a Trump order would look like, though it's widely accepted it would be fundamentally worse for players and better for institutions when it comes to revenue share. 100%. This is not about trying to make smaller schools having, having a better case to bid for players. It's not about that at all. Y'all want to limit revenue share. That's all it is at the end of the day. We're not going to play around with all this, this extra word fat. What it is y'all don't want to share revenue with the players. So you want to put a cap on it. All before all these decades of y'all making billions off these players, it wasn't a problem. NIL gets implemented. Now you got colleges that got to be like, hey, listen, if you want my niece or you want my nephew or you want my son, you want my daughter, it's going to cost this. And these players should be making money off their name, image, and likeness. 100%. You shouldn't be putting a cap on it. Ohio State had the highest, I want to say, NIL salary this year. They won a championship. You gotta pay to play. It's fair. Y'all don't put a cap on what coaches should make. Y'all don't put a cap on what athletic directors should make. Now, all of a sudden, you want to put a cap on the players because y'all just don't like the way it's going. Y'all don't want to see them. And salute to these kids for getting their money because now they're in a position, again, to where, barring any catastrophic injury, they're able to take care of their family. They're able to kind of set themselves, give themselves a cushion. If things don't work out, they go to the pros. You got some players who got NIL deals who know they probably won't get drafted, and they should be getting that money. That can set them up for their future and whatever other ventures they got. But all this is just some bullshit. You don't want to share the revenue because also, I know what you don't do is when the alumni cut checks, when you get these new locker rooms and equipment and all this other shit, y'all not giving the players a cut of that. So now you want to dip into their name, image, and likeness money? Come on, bro. It's some bullshit. And I hope this shit don't go through. I hope it don't go through. Now, I know Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney, they are definitely supportive of this because actually Dabo Swinney was one of the first coaches, the coach at Clemson, by the way. He was one of the first coaches to speak against this. Like, oh, you should play for pride and all this other shit. Well, you go out there and coach for pride. You go out there and you coach for pride, Dabo. You do that. And I feel like this is also one of the reasons why Nick Saban went away. He got away from the college game. But these players should be paid. If you want to put a cap on everybody's shit then. How about that? You put a cap on what the athletic director should make. You put a cap on what the coaches should make. Make it fair across the board then, nigga. How about that? This NIL shit ain't even 5 years old. This shit just got implemented probably about 2-3 years ago. It's only been a few 2-3 years, and at the most a player be making, I think, Carson, let me go ahead and let me look at the NIL. Let me look at these rankings because I did see this the other day. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So this is the highest paid. This is the highest paid athletes for the 2025-2026 season in college athletics. So Arch Manning comes in at number 1 at $6.8 million. Carson Beck at Miami, he got $4.3 million. That's kind of fucking insane, Carson Beck. Miami paid this nigga $4.3 million to come play quarterback for them. Hey, salute. Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver, Ohio State, $4.2 billion. AJ Dabinasta, the basketball player from BYU, $4.1 million. Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback, LSU, $3.7 million. Lenore Sellers, South Carolina, quarterback, $3.7 million. DJ Lagway, quarterback, Florida, $3.7 million. Cade Cublet, quarterback, Clemson, $3.4 million. Drew Aller, quarterback, Penn State, $3.1 million. Sam Levitt, quarterback, Arizona State, $3.1 million. Yeah, man, these guys cleaning up, and they should be cleaning up. They should be cleaning up. I want to look at, there was another list that had just overall college because there was even the gymnastics, even the gymnastic athletes are getting paid, bro. Like how it should be though. Like I'm not even upset with this. I'm not even mad at this, bro. Like this is how it should be. No, I can't find it. I thought I had it. I should have screenshotted it, but is this the one right here? Yeah, Livy Dunn from LSU. She getting $4.5 million. Salute to her, bro. Cleaning up. That's how it should be. Because again, when these college players put their bodies on the line And they have these, a lot of the times we've seen it. I remember when Marcus Lattimore, great running back from South Carolina Gamecocks, had a career-ending injury. He tried to come back and play, but it just didn't work out. And this was around the 2012, 2013 time frame. So, of course, by then, like, if you got caught, somebody paying to get you something from McDonald's, them boys will find you and suspend your ass. And I think Marcus is doing well for himself now, but it would have just been dope to have the NIL at that time because it could definitely set him up for his future. It would have gave him a lot of cushion. So yeah, even the gymnastics, they're cleaning up. Livy Dunn, she getting $4.5 million from LSU. So that's how it should be. And a lot of the times, what it is, it's the commercials that they're cleaning up the NIL on. I be seeing a lot of these college players. They might have something for, Powerade, Gatorade. It could be a clothing line. It could be something with Nike. It could be something with Adidas, and it's well deserved. Like, how can I be killing? Could you imagine NIL was around when Reggie Bush was killing? Come on, bro. Reggie Bush would have been everywhere. But again, his jersey was everywhere. If you walking around on campus and that's your jersey and it's flying off shelves, not only in your college campus but across the nation, you should be compensated for that. Again, you got the football game that came back out. They got all the players' names on the back of their jerseys now. So, of course, they're getting a check of that. Because it was a time where, you didn't have names on the back of the jerseys. Or they would just do some random shit. Like Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith, they cleaning up. I be seeing a lot. And a lot of the times they could be, I remember Shiloh Sanders when he was with Colorado. He had an NIL deal with a local BMW dealership. So they be getting local car dealerships, local food restaurants. It could be car washes. It could be anything, but they're well deserved of this money because at the end of the day, they're the ones who making the money come in. I remember before, if you're old enough to remember, if you're listening, when we had the BCS would rack in billions for that weekend. We just talking about a weekend: Rose Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl. This is just a weekend of games. Granted, now we got the playoffs and all that, so it's way more money now. But back then, it was billions. Players don't see none of that. They couldn't get money until it was time to go to the draft. And, their agent, most of the times, their agent is cutting them a check because, they're going to get their bread back. But I hope this executive order doesn't go through because it's fucked up, man. These kids deserve their money. They go out there, they work hard. They are employees, and they should be paid like them. They should be paid. Putting the cap on it, it's not beneficial. Last year, Cooper Flagg, he made $5.9 million at Duke. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are well deserved of their money, man. I hope this shit don't come through. It's some bullshit, bro. It's some bullshit. But yeah, man. Salute to all the college athletes getting that money, man. Take care of their families, and all these coaches out here hating. Go to hell, man. Go to hell. That's really much all I can say about that. But that's pretty much all I got for y'all this week, man. That's pretty much all I got for y'all. Again, thank y'all for tapping in with me, checking in with me. I hit 10 episodes last week, so time go by fast like a motherfucker, man. Again, can't believe I'm already, this is about to be what, episode 11? Yeah, we 11 episodes into this thing, man. So I want to thank y'all for, again, checking in with me, tapping in with me. Again, everybody, please be safe. Continue to chase some goals. Get your ass in the gym. Please get your ass in the gym. That will definitely change your life. And get you some consistency going with that. And again, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, I'm on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. So please make sure you check me out on all those platforms. And it don't cost nothing to like, share, and subscribe. And like I say every week, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike. And I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.